Mate, we met you last year. We had a fish together, and you said to me, "This is the time to go." Obviously that first sort of full moon of November. It's a great time to be up there. A lot of anglers are heading up that way over the past month and during this month to Mondrian Dam. It's only about a 3.5, 4 hour drive from Brizzy. You said, let's go out. We did. We went out and we literally caught 12 or 13 barramundi in a couple of hours, and some of the fish were, most were 95 to a metre 5. They were huge. Mate, what is it that makes Mondi so special?
I guess it's a stock impoundment dam, so we get a SIPS program. So anyone who pays for their SIPS to fish impoundment barra, obviously have a choice of preference to tick where they prefer to fish. So most of the guys that fish Mondi will tick that, and proceeds of the SIPS permits go into a stocking program. So this year, I think $85,000 of SIPS programs went into Mondrian. And then we also got MASTIS, the Mondrian Anglers Sports Association. They raised funds of up to $55,000 this year through family competitions and that sort of thing, and through other funds raised. And then that all goes into the stocking program.
Mate, a fingerling costs around 50 cents on the dot. So if we're talking 85 gram plus some locals, say call it 100 gram, we're talking a couple of 100,000 fish being put back in there. Now, I guess the thing for you guys in an impoundment is you like to have water in the dam, but you don't want too much water where it overflows and all the fish go over the spillway.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Some stats, if you're interested. So over the last 10 years with the barra fingerlings into Mondrian, we've probably put in 1,560,000 barra fingerlings in there over the last 10 years. So a fair bit there.
It's a lot. A Wonga Dam was probably the biggest, the big dam of barra fishing go back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But they lost a lot of their fish during floods around that sort of 2012, 2019, something like that as well. And, mate, now Mondi has overtaken it in leaps and bounds, and it's a lot closer for the southeast sector to get up there. Now, people are heading up there. What are the best lures to use?
So I guess with the barra at the moment, we've only just had our first heavy rain, so most of the barra that were in the dam have come up into the basin. So probably the preferential way to do any barra fishing for people who don't have live scope is probably trolling. And so, most people have trolled in the basin. So lures for trolling is probably using your soft plastics, so your Irukandji 7 to 9 inch plastics. You've got your Molex 120s to 140s. They've also got a local lure maker, Pristine Lures, and then they run the PT 150s as a lure of choice there for soft plastics. And then hard bodies, if you want to troll hard bodies, is your RMGs and your Barra Classics, sometimes with having the silent ones, and also rattles. Just depends what the fish are up to.
Mate, exactly. And look, we've trolled soft plastics, which is quite, unusual for a lot of people to think about this, to catch, metre plus barramundi. You're casting your lure out 40 or 50 metres behind the boat. You've got to troll at a certain speed, don't you? What's the speed that you like to work the lures at?
That varies. I mean, some weeks that could be a little bit slower, some a bit faster. Generally, if you sort of troll at that 4 kilometres an hour, that's generally your happy spot there. Not everyone, if you are using your main motor, some people can't adjust their speeds too much unless you've got a decent trawling motor. Then you can sort of even go as low as 2.5 kilometres. So that varies.
Good idea is to put your engine in gear and out of gear. We do that when we're trolling for mackerel, and what we did up there as well, because my battery went flat on the electric. But is to just go in gear and then out of gear, in gear, out of gear. But the importance of locating the fish as well. A lot of people don't have the new way of fishing being live scope, but it certainly does help, doesn't it? Yeah,
absolutely. So if you didn't have live scope and you got your map cards, most fish finders have a map card. You can probably follow contours. So you look at old river lines and ridges and that sort of thing, and you follow those, even though you might be in 100 foot of water.
Yep.
You know, those contour lines do make a difference. It builds a pressure front on those contour lines, and the barra will certainly sit on those edges.
Mate, it's a fascinating thing to understand how these fish work because, you know, you catch them, you bring them back to the boat. You were using a longer rod last time. I was using a shorter rod at around 6.6, 6.7, but your rod is longer. Why do you use a longer rod, and how long is that rod? Just tell everyone at home.
So I was using, just a 7 foot 3 inches or up to 7 foot 9, depending. I suppose it's just for the control of it. Because you're trawling, some people put them in the rod holders. Just gives that bit of give in the rod. If you are trawling and use a stiff rod, when the barra hits it, there's no forgiveness in the tip of that rod. So a longer rod with a softer tip is probably my advice for trolling. That way, when the barra does suck it in, he's going to, he does suck it into the back of his mouth, and you need a bit of forgiveness for that lure to hit the back of his mouth before you can actually hook it up. If it's too stiff, then basically it doesn't actually reach the back there, and you get short strikes.
Mate, you are a wealth of knowledge there, buddy, and this is the time of the year to be up there, isn't it? As it starts to heat up, these storms are coming through, it really turns the fish on. I know casting was the best way to catch them. Trolling hadn't fired. The fish hadn't moved down to the basin, but have they moved down now? Is it worth trolling, or should you still stick to casting the bays?
You can do both. They have moved down. They started probably last week, actually, with the heavy rains that we sort of had. I think last year we had earlier rains, so they were in the basin from pretty much middle of October. We've only sort of had our last heavy rains in the last 2 weeks. So I've only just sort of moved in there. Not big numbers, but they're certainly moving in there now.
All right, mate. Are you going to catch a fish now, are you?
Just about to, yeah. We just pulled up at the Monday sign, and in 15 minutes we'll be on the water.
Good on you, Cole. Hey, mate, I look forward to catching up with you in the next couple of weeks there, buddy. And if you want to check out Colin Bruss, jump onto my YouTube page. It's the Step Outside with Paul Burt YouTube page, and you'll see catching Mondi Barra, catching giants in Powmett Barra. And everything that Colin's just spoken about, you actually see it on video. Okay, talking about the thermoclines, talking about live scopes, showing the lures, showing his rods, showing the depth, showing everything. You'll be able to see exactly what he's on about. And I'll tell you what, some of those giants that get netted are absolutely incredible, but they get big. What's the biggest fish taken out of there, Cole?
I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, the world record apparently comes out of Mondrian. I think it was 143 centimetres, so it was a real giant. Barra currently, there's a lot of fish being caught over the metre 20 currently. I think a 128 was caught earlier in the year. Certainly I don't think it'll be too long and we'll start seeing a metre 30 come out of there.
Wow.
And a big fish, well over 30, 40 kilos somewhere. I think we'll start seeing them. Yeah.
Imagine that 100-pound fish being netted up on next to the boat. And the thing is, you let them go because they're not the best of eating. They taste a bit like a mud pie. So that's in their benefit because when you catch them, take a quick photo and put them back into the water, and a lot more fun there from many more anglers on their journeys up to Mondi Dam. Colin, thanks for your time, mate. Good luck today, buddy. Happy hunting.
No worries. Thanks, Paul. Good chatting.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Good on you, buddy. That's Colin Bruss, everybody, fishing Mondrian Dam. Colin actually works up there in a macadamia nut farm. He's right on the doorstep of Mondi Dam.